Your next up level isn't found in your to-do list. It is found in your frequency, because your frequency is your currency. And that is a fact for the legacy you're building, for the impact that you're bringing, and the money that you are making. And let's be so fucking for real. We're not here to be like everybody else. Now, I don't know if you're pumped, but I fucking sure am, because we're about to unravel how you can start tuning into your higher frequency, how to handle more with ease, and how you can start doing your up level when it comes to tuning into your CEO power. Let's elevate your mindset, align with your deepest desire, and attract your clients' opportunity and success that you have been manifesting, all while operating from a flow of confidence and pure abundance. Welcome to the podcast. I'm your host, Malika, content creator and entrepreneur. Now listen, I hope that you have your matcha with you, or your morning drink, or you're going on your hike or walk when you're tuning into this, because I was just thinking about how we all want to be able to handle more, right? We want to have this expansion. We want to be able to reach this higher frequency, to embody that higher frequency. This episode just hit me, and I was like, this is it. This is the thing you've been waiting for, to hold more clients, more impact, tune into your fucking next CEO frequency that is just making major fucking waves, even more that what you think you're capable of. I'm always hype. I'm always saying I'm so excited, but I'm genuinely so excited every time I film a podcast. Okay, so let's just dive in. The first thing that we want to start looking at is the way that you are getting clients right now, or running your business right now, and start to ask yourself, is it enjoyable? Is it scalable? Is it doable? Does it feel like doing more of that feels enjoyable and abundant and in the flow, or it feels more like you're stretching yourself thinner and thinner, and you're putting shit on your plate, but it's not a nice plate. It's just everything is fucking falling off the plate. Because this is also have been one of my personal experiences, that I didn't realize why I was stuck to a certain point in my business, where I was I want to expand, I want to reach my up level. I want to be able, I'm in a good place, but I want to reach for more, right? And I was not realizing that this is the thing. With my first business, it was with makeup, right? So my first business was makeup services and content around makeup and everything. And I wanted more, but it was not enjoyable to have more. It was not scalable to have more. And even time-wise or energy-wise, it didn't make sense. And this is why it wasn't happening. It was I wanted this quantum leap, but I didn't have the space, or I wasn't looking at my business in the way of is it enjoyable? Does it make sense to do more of what I'm already doing right now? Because if it's not enjoyable to do more of what you're doing right now, then this is actually part of why it's not happening, because this could be your subconscious that is blocking you, because you have some undealt limiting beliefs that is holding you back from that, because it's always trying to protect you in a way, and you might not even notice it. And perfect example for this is that when you think of your dream business, are you constantly checking your DMs, or reaching out for people to join your program, or reaching out for people to buy from you or hire you, or always doing outreach? Or are you the one sitting in your power and your authority, and people are literally coming to you, right? Because that is scalable. That is enjoyable. That is not you spreading yourself so fucking thin, right? And so And this can apply for literally anything that is within your life, within your business, within your systems that you have in your business, right? It's all about looking at like, does it make sense if right now I had the fucking huge wave of more demand, of more everything, of more clients, of more work, of more, you know, it's kind of looking at like, does it make sense? Because this is when you experience a stuck or feeling like you can't have more, or your manifestation are not happening for you, because we want to be able to see what are the blockages so that we can start creating a solution for it, so that we can clear the block and we can be in this overflow. We can have clients that are coming to us. We can optimize our time, right? We can do things that are enjoyable, that if you would think I have to do more of this, it makes you feel good. It makes you feel in like this higher frequency and not like you're dropping down your frequency. Because when you start seeking solutions and you start seeing where the like blockage are, this is when you can start tuning into your CEO magic and quantum leaping. If you don't know what quantum leaping is, basically shifting reality. You're fucking upgrading, okay? This truly ties in with how you operate, because we want to start shifting. Okay, we're operating from stress or lack to true alignment, because there's a huge difference between survival push or stress push, or even ego push. I would say that this is something most people don't ever look at. You know, the ego push, which is like, I want to prove myself, right? And there's a big difference from pushing from those states to pushing from your embodiment of a higher frequency, of just your next level CEO energy frequency. There's a huge fucking difference, because this really impacts how you start regulating your nervous system to hold more client, to hold more money, to hold more visibility even. And so this is truly one of the main like sneaky thing that most of the time will keep you in a blockage, or from really reaching like that higher frequency that you are craving. And so we need to be able to identify those, because especially for me in the past, I know that it was truly from ego push. I had this huge like, I was always trying to prove myself, rather than coming from a place of I want to impact, I want to change life, I want to get my message out there. You know, it was really like, obviously I wanted those things, but it was more to fulfill that lack of like, I'm gonna prove you wrong, like I'm gonna show you. And that is coming from a lack place. That is not coming from an abundant place. Because when you realize that you don't actually need to be in survival, you don't actually need to be in your stress, you don't actually need to be proving yourself in order to step, expand, and get more for yourself, you start realizing, why the fuck am I even operating in this if I can operate from overflow and get even more expansion and handle even more? You know what I mean? Like, that's where it becomes kind of like a non-negotiable of like, it's a no-brainer. Like, why would I choose survival, ego over alignment and expansion? Doesn't make sense. And speaking of handling more, okay, when you want to be able to, you know, let's say you want to reach your up level, you want to expand, that is in any area of your life, this is not necessarily about putting more on your plate, but it's more about releasing what doesn't serve you, right? It's more about clearing out the shit that drains your energy, that there's no return on investment. And this can be a return on investment like with your money, it could be with your energy, it could be with your time, all of the above. But it's really looking at like, if you want to be able to handle more, it's not about like, let me put all these shit on my plates and then the plate is so motherfucking full that it's falling everywhere on the fucking floor, right? This is when you get a burnout. Or you're operating from a place of super misaligned and drainage, okay? And that's not what we want. So it's really about looking at what are the shit that you spend way too much time on, or way too much energy on, or way too much money on, that does not equal that return on investment. Like, it does not. It just doesn't make sense, right? And it's about releasing those shit and taking, and like, if you actually need to do some of these things that are like tasks, annoying tasks or whatever, like, how can you make them shrink the time? How can you maybe delegate? How can you maybe, like all these things? It's like, how can you make it more productive? And the next thing with being able to handle more is also about doubling down on the shit that does bring you a huge return on investment, right? Because that is the thing that you are putting more of, in a sense, but it's more of what is working and less of what is not fucking working, or what is not a good return on investment, or not an equal return on investment that you need to diminish, or that you need to put in the back seat. Because as business owners and creators, like, let's be fucking for real, like, the to-do list can never end. Like, I could literally work for like a week straight, and like, I would always have things to do. Like, I could be like working like 24 hours every fucking day, and like literally never have one time that I'm like, oh, I don't know what to do. Like, I would know what to do. I would know what I'd be doing. Like, I know like how I'd be advancing, how I'd be extending, like, right? Next thing I want to bring in is what makes you feel expensive that you have been slacking off on, okay? Because this is the kind of thing that truly, tremendously increase your fucking frequency and helps you quantum leap. I'd say for me that one of the things that I will never, ever, ever fucking deny myself is investing within my expansion, investing within myself. If I look, for example, at myself like years ago, when I first started out my business, I was literally like so young, and I was thinking like, oh my God, like $1,000 is like so much. I have to think about it a lot. Like, I really have to think about it. Like, oh my God. And now, like, if you look compared to now, the more my frequency expands and the more my frequency rise, the more I see money in such a fucking different way. And for me, for example, I'll just give you a comparison with years ago that was like, oh my God, no, I don't know, I have to think about it. Is the difference of like, that was me years ago, and now I can make a 6K, 7K investment just like that if I feel like it's aligned. I know it's gonna bring me my up level. I know I'm fucking rising my frequency, and it's a no-brainer for me. And I'm not gonna be thinking about it. I'm not gonna be like, oh my God, let me sit on it for like a week. And just recently I dropped 6K on investing in myself for coaching, because I always am raising my frequency so that I can not only impact better, but I can help better, and I can embody this next frequency that I want. And that decision, I made it instantly, because I knew this was the right thing for me. I knew that this felt so aligned. It was an easy fucking yes. And I have to say that every single time that I invest in myself, I always see such a huge quantum leap, and most of all, a huge transformation in my self-belief, that like I thought that I was at the max, and then it's just like giving me an even bigger boost of self-belief. And that is the thing that investing does, that for me, just the investment alone is worth it, because I'm like, yes, like this is how much I fucking trust myself. And what I choose to invest in is always coming from a place of alignment and something that truly fucking resonate with my soul, and not by like popularity, like, oh, this person is more popular, like this coach is more popular or whatever. Like, it's not about that, because I am all about integrity. I'm all about intention and what feels right to me, and I'm never gonna give a fuck if someone has more followers than another person or they have less. Like, when you make an investment, it should always be about alignment. It should always be about, this feels like exactly what you need, and not what you think you need, or not what other people are going with, or not what you believe that other people would recommend you, right? Like, it's about your choice and making sure that you are choosing from a place of abundance, from a place of true fucking alignment, because that is when your frequency rises up. This Starbucks is so good. Okay, let me just take a matcha break. And something so important that I literally cannot stress enough, okay, is that strategy without frequency is not enough. Because you can have strategy and not frequency, and it will never fucking work as much as you want it to. Because how do you get like a major quantum leap, right? It's not by doing more, but it's about embodying more, being more in that frequency. It's truly about embodiment. It's not about let me tone down on the strategy. Let me do more of the strategy. Let me refine my strategy. Let me redo this. Because what you embody, you project around you. And something so good that you can start thinking of and kind of creating a mindset shift around this is to ask yourself, what the fuck are you sold on yourself that you are bringing to the table, right? Because most of the time when we think of like running our business, getting our clients, right, it's like we're thinking, how can I sell you? Are you sold on yourself? And how are you bringing that to the table? Because you don't want to be thinking from a place of, how can I sell you me, right? Like, how can I sell you me? It's more about, what the fuck am I sold on myself, Because now you're fucking flipping the tables. Now it's like, you are the fucking embodiment of literally what you are selling, but you're already sold on it within yourself. And so you are just projecting it. And so you are not trying to convince anyone, but they are getting convinced because you are embodying that. Does that make sense? Like, that is one of the most fucking powerful thing that you can do, because how you are operating day to day is going to be your currency. And so if you want to raise the currency that you are experiencing in your life, that is in your manifestation, that is in your impact, that is in your recognition, that is online, what the fuck ever, okay? It's about really raising your day-to-day frequency, right? Like your new normal frequency. It's about raising that in your day-to-day, and not just when you're sitting down to film content, or not just when you're sitting down to show up in your business, but literally when you are doing nothing at all. What is your frequency? What is the frequency you're tuning in? Because that is your normal, and that is what you want to raise. Especially as women, like, I don't know about you, but I am extremely intuitive, and I can feel someone's energy before they even speak to me, or just by seeing them through a video. I can feel their energy. I can feel if they're connected. I can feel if they're disconnected. I can feel you. It's so funny, but I can. And so this is the thing, like, people truly feel you through your energy before you even say a word. And the last thing for this is to be creating from a place of overflow instead of a place of obligation. Something that I love to do for this is really asking myself, like, okay, how can I do this from an energy of fun and excitement? And something that I actually heard on another podcast, which I absolutely love, Haley Hoffman. I don't know if any of you knows her podcast, but absolutely amazing. Anything like manifestation, universe, all that stuff. And it is to like this is literally it. It's like making things fun instead of a task that you have to do or an obligation, and really doing it from a place of excitement, but also considering your inner child. Kind of like imagine if like you would spend a day with a child and you would have to make that day even more fun and nice, right? It's like, how can you make it like that but for yourself? Because that is really bringing in an extra like layer of energy, of fun, of expansion, and that makes it even more fun, right? So that could just be from like where you are in a cafe, like drinking your matcha, going like knowing exactly, okay, at this time I'm gonna go for a hot girl walk, have my Pilates, have this in my day, like, oh, okay, I'm gonna do this task of like answering emails that I don't really like, but I'm gonna put some nice music and like, you know, like stuff like that. Basically, that is like shifting it from a place of obligation to fun. Something else that really helps is to be reframing the goal, especially when it comes to like when you're posting or showing up online, because truly, we're here for the impact, and the money that you receive is simply a reflection of that. And so it's to reframe it from, oh, I want to please the algorithm. I want to get X amount of followers. I want to get X amount of right? To instead reframing it from, how can I get my fucking mission out there? How can I get my message out there? How can I impact a shit ton of people? How can I disrupt my industry, right? It's about shifting the goal in a way that you're positioning your goal that is empowering to you. Because if you're putting it on exterior factor like the algorithm or X, Y, and Z, like these are not things that make you feel empowered because you feel like you have no control over it. And so this is truly about reframing your goal in order for you to have the power to put in the work for the outcome or to change the outcome, right? That is what the reframing the goal is all about, and it's super impactful. This is where you want to ask yourself, like, how can you make showing up feel even more like you, even more like your brand, your brand? Oh my God. I don't know why I said that, but I think my brain is getting fried a little bit. How can you make showing up feel even more like you, even more fun, even more exciting, because you are just lit up by how you're showing up. You are lit up by what you're talking about, by how you will be impacting X amount of people, right? Like that is also operating from a place of overflow, from a place of abundance, and raising your frequency, just like we talked about. If you love this episode, make sure to save it and send it to someone, share it to a friend that you know would truly benefit, and you're saying to her like, hey, bitch, raise your frequency. It is your fucking time, okay? Now, I love if you could leave a comment. Let me know what you thought of the episode. And if you're tuning in on streaming platform, please leave a review. It helps the podcast rank and reach more people and impact more women all over the world, which I appreciate so much. And as always, I'll see you next week. Thanks so much for tuning in, and don't forget to leave your 5-star rate and review on the podcast. I love to know what you guys think of the episodes, and I will meet you here next week.